Once upon a time, there was a little purple man called Purp. He was 6 inches tall, and he was purple, and he loved to wear purple clothes, and he lived with his friend Mervyn, who was an ordinary size. And one day, Mervyn said to Purp, "How would you like to go Christmas shopping?"
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
So they went to the toy store, and Mervyn says to Purp, "Do you see anything you like?"
Oh, yeah. See that airplane? I want to fly that airplane.
You know, they have these remote-controlled airplanes, and they actually fly around the room, and there was one flying around right then. And Purp would love that idea.
Oh, boy, I want to go up in that airplane.
So he went and asked the man if he could ride in the airplane, and the man said, "You're too big."
What?
"Yeah, you're too heavy. The plane will never get off the ground,"
Oh, bother.
says Purp. And then he noticed they had blimps. You know what a blimp is? It's a big thing that's full of helium gas, like a balloon. You know those balloons that rise up?
And then there's a silver thing on the bottom where you steer.
That's right. On the bottom, there's this little basket where you sit, and it was a perfect size for Purp.
Okay, that's what I want. I want to go up in the blimp.
And he asked Mervyn,
How do you get this thing to go up?
well, Mervyn said, "You notice how it's tied down? As soon as you untie those ropes, it'll rise up because it's full of helium and it rises up in the air."
Well, that's pretty cool.
How do you get?
How do you get it to go down?
Well, then you have to see there's a little valve up there. You undo the valve and the gas comes out and then it comes down again.
Well, how do you make it go forward?
Well, there's a little motor in there, and it makes it go forward.
How do you steer it?
Well, it's got a steering wheel.
Okay, let's go.
So Purp gets inside the basket, and he's ready to go flying.
Cut me loose.
Says Purp. So they untied all the knots, and up went this thing very slowly. Blimps don't travel very fast. And he turned on the motor, and it started to go forward.
Wow, this is neat.
And Purp was able to steer it this way and that.
Hey, this is great fun. I'm going for a ride.
And he went right out the store, into the outside there, and now he's in the big, great outdoors.
Wow.
And he decided he wanted to go higher.
How do you make this thing go higher? I want to go higher. I want to go higher.
And then he noticed that there was little buckets of sand in the basket. Do you know what those buckets of sand were for?
Helium.
Well, see, they're a heavy weight. And if you dump the sand out, then it doesn't weigh as much and it goes up higher. So he started dumping out buckets of sand, and he's going higher and higher.
Wow, this is great.
He's gone very high up in the air. And then all of a sudden, this bird came along and landed right on top of the blimp. And the bird's pretty heavy. So now the blimp is coming down.
Hey, get off of my blimp, big boy.
Says the bird. But the bird wasn't listening to him. And they were getting down farther and farther and farther. It looked like they were going to crash. Finally, Purp realized he had to do something. So he decided to yell at the bird. Like that. He was trying to make a bird noise, you know. And the bird went, and started flapping its wings. And pretty soon, the bird and the blimp are going higher and higher and higher in the air. And the bird let go, and now Purp is way up in the sky, driving his blimp, having the greatest time. And he sees this beautiful cactus.
I always wanted to go up close and see what a cactus is like.
So he's flying closer and closer to the cactus.
I think I'm going to go right over the top of the cactus.
So he tries to steer it up, and next thing you know, the blimp bumps into the cactus, and he hears this sound. And he noticed the bag getting smaller and smaller, and pretty soon the blimp is leaning down like that, and the basket is leaning down, and Purp plops down on the ground.
Oh, bother.
says Purp.
That was a big mistake.
And then he noticed that the bird feather had landed in his pocket.
Well, at least I got a feather for my Christmas present.
And that's the story of how Purp went flying.